by.
Late night chai talk with Ray and Amit. Yay!
Brought to you by Alpha Class Beats.
Bro!
Whoa!
He'll be really happy that we are promoting his music. That's good. His music is good. We just saw Veronica movie. It's weekend and
It's a horror story, or it's a horror
real
movie.
story.
Well, it is a story. It's a real story based on true events.
Yeah, that was inspired from the notes that were taken by the police in Spain, Madrid, about a girl whose name is not Veronica, it's something else. I just looked on the Google a little bit. I'm not sure what exact story was, but it was much similar to that. The girl was hallucinating. She used to do Ouija board things with her friend. I mean, in the school. This is the night.
That's right.
And those Ouija board things, she started having hallucinations, and which was observed by some of her class teachers, and then eventually she had that dangerous
Hallucinations
that accident.
and
I mean, I don't know what to call it, an accident.
illusions or whatever that she dreamed of or imagined or whatever that did happen to her.
So what do you think about, like, what's your take on the movie, and
Well,
what?
should we just talk about just like the background?
Yeah, first let's talk about the movie, and then let's go into the real life stuff, you know.
So it was about this 15-year-old girl,
Yeah,
and she
yeah.
was the oldest of 4. I don't know if they were all siblings, but she had 2
I
younger
haven't-
sisters.
No. So that was in the movie.
Yeah. What's the real story?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, the movie Veronica, it depicted she had 2. I don't know if they were twins, but
Two girls,
2 girls,
sisters, and
and a younger brother.
younger brother, very, very, very small, like maybe 4 or 5 years old.
3, 4, 5. No, I want to say, yeah, you're right, 4 or 5.
And yeah,
And she would help raise her siblings, while her mother, her single parent, was always working. So she would take her brother and sisters to school, and take them back and feed them
that's too much responsibility for a
and
15-year-old.
babysit.
She babysits, she cleans them, she makes food for them. The mother is never home. I was most of the time very much angry on the mother.
I was,
because
I could kind of feel that.
although I was having very,
Well, in the movie, it showed that
I was also having, like, really, I could feel the pain of the mother, because she was being the father and the mother at the same time.
Yes.
But bro, what's the point? I mean, that was my question in the end. Like, she was working so hard and, sending them to school. The girl still died. So what's I mean, there should be a balance to everything, right? Even if you're a single parent, what's the point of me earning for my children if my children are dying? So that's the thing. I was really angry on her mother that she was never there when that
When
poor
she
girl,
was needed.
that when she needed the help. In the real life scenario, I don't know if she had a single mother or not, but that girl also in the real life, when she was hallucinating, most of the mental patients, they need your help. So we have to make sure that somebody's there always to be with them. And I myself have seen this kind of disease very, very closely, because one of my relatives used to serve and, like, still have that, and I have taken them to, like, we tried a lot to cure it. It was to one of my close ones. The problem with the mental diseases is that the person cannot tell you how he or she is suffering. That's their problem. So if somebody is suffering in your knowledge with a mental disease, make sure they will never tell you that this is my problem.
They hide it all the time.
They do not know what their problem is. That's the problem. for a mental patient, he do not know where he is lacking, and that makes it really problematic for them. If there is a mental patient that you should, I think the best way to, they need a lot of attention, bro. You can't, if somebody is hallucinating, they are already in the state that they are out of their mind.
They're in another world.
Yeah, they're in another world. If they have started hallucinating, like that's like the limit of, uh, the limit is crossed already.
Well, if they go too much to the left, then they'll go to a part where they can't fix themselves. They'll become schizophrenic. They'll.
So hallucination is schizophrenia. They already have that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
See, the problem with schizophrenia is even doctors today, they do not know, or they never take the responsibility of this, like you will be cured in 6 months or 1 year or 2 years. There's no time limit. So once they have started hallucinating, even the doctors say, oh, I don't know, how much time it will take. Just try to make them sleep. That's all psychiatry is all about.
Right. They always
Make them sleep, so that they do not make any trouble for you in your day-to-day life, because people are in so much survival mode.
They medicate them. They give them therapy or some kind of psychiatric therapy, or just some help, and then.
And for those of you think that I am just speaking it by just my I'm speaking ill of psychiatry, it's actually a very shitty. It's just a way to postpone the problem as much as you can. That's all my take on psychiatry is. Most of the psychiatrists that I've seen, they don't know what they're doing. They are just hit and trial people. Number one, they do not know when they will be able to cure the disease.
It's a check.
Yeah, it's like take this thing, come back after 2 weeks, let's see what happens. And then those 2 weeks turn into 2 months, and it's too much. And the people who have survived mental diseases are, in my opinion, they are very, very few as compared to the people who have not survived it. Because I have actually met a schizophrenic patient who actually took the responsibility of his disease, started taking medication, and then still after taking the medication for so many years, you could see on his face like something was wrong in his body.
Something was off.
Yeah, but he knew that I
need help.
I'm not good, I need help.
Yes.
And this is my medication. But always his eyes were red, and he's not present totally. You could totally see that.
Oh yes.
He's like 30% he's absent somewhere else. And
my half brother's, he has schizophrenia.
So is he in a place where they take care of it, or is he taking medication from home? What's
He's taking medication from home. He used to take care of himself, but it got to a point where he just stopped caring about himself. So he has his mother, who is to a point now that she needs to take care of herself, and she doesn't have enough energy to take care of herself and her son, my half brother. And it's gotten to a point where he goes on and off, and when he goes off, he really clouds himself with alcohol.
So he's a schizophrenic, and he have an alcohol problem also.
Yes.
That's even worse, bro. That makes it even worse. At least alcohol might help him to stop his thoughts for some time.
Just a little bit, just to cope with something.
Yeah, but coming back from that, it even worsens. The problem with that's the problem. The problem with anything that becomes heavy on your consciousness, it might be the psychiatric drugs, it might be alcohol, it might be anything that becomes heavy on your consciousness, that makes you less conscious, is that it's a very small time solution. It's like cocaine. If you have a problem, or if you have an addiction, you take a shot for.
You have to medicate.
Yeah, yes. For some time you're okay, and then.
It's like a sedative. You have to keep.
It is a sedative.
You have to keep taking it so you can feel that ease, or that addiction.
So that's all psychiatry is all about. That's all it is. keep drugging them. But in my opinion, psychiatry is also very important. Why? Because mental diseases have gone to such an extent now that those people, they will kill somebody if you do not keep them calm.
And especially in the West, they have so many resources to hurt people, so many tools to hurt people with.
Yeah.
Um,
So all these school shootings that are happening around, everything that is happening. What do you think, bro? Any person who is right in his mind will kill somebody?
it depends, but the person would have to
Hmm.
go through true suffering. True suffering.
I'm not talking about accidental deaths.
No, I'm not talking about accidental
Like,
death either. I'm talking about grudges. I'm talking about someone who was bullied, let's say, you know, who went through really deep suffering. But if the person's not right in the mind, I can understand that. I can understand that that person will take measures and would feel that he would need to make himself
Anyways, the conclusion of my take on the mental diseases, hallucination. We started talking about the girl who was hallucinating in Veronica. Her actual, what Google says. I do not know her what exactly happened, but it says that she started hallucinating. She was using some Ouija board in the school with her friends, and um, yeah, eventually it's clear from the movie what happened. In the end, they just find.
throughout the movie, she was
But she suffered.
believing that she was helping, trying to prevent,
Yeah.
but it was her that was doing the act.
Children are the only thing that made me very much emotional was that how much the girl suffered because of the not caring,
Loneliness.
loneliness, and not care, like the caring that should have been there from her mother.
Yes. That
Now-
neglect.
Yeah, that neglect. Now there are too many takes on it. Some people will say she's a single mother, she had to survive this and that and this and that. Anyways, the girl was neglected. That was the whole conclusion. That's what happened, and then she had to suffer a lot. Cheers, bro. Chai. Late night chai. Late night chai talk with Ray and Amit. Welcome to late.